everyone, my name is Melissa from soycandlemakingtime.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make some soy wax melts or tarts that you can use in Scentsy burners or any other kind of tart burner. They're very easy to make, so let's get started. For our supplies, we're going to need some Votive soy wax. I like to use the Enchanted Lights Votive soy wax. The only problem is that Enchanted Lights is out of business now, but American Soy Organics has taken over their line of waxes, except for the Votive wax. So there might be some suppliers out there with some of this left, but otherwise you would have to find an alternative to this Votive wax. Another good one to use is the Eco Soya Pillar Blend. That works really well also. So next we're going to need some molds, and I've got a neat little Easter mold here. It's a little late for Easter, but I didn't get this video done when I wanted to, so we'll just go with that. And I've got some breakaway tart molds, and these are like the ones that you would see that Scentsy has. You can break the squares off. So you just pour it in here and let it cool, and then you can break off one at a time. And then I've got the normal little tart molds, just like these. These are metal, and you can get them by the dozen for those. So next we'll need some fragrance oil. I'm using Breezy Meadow today, and it's a really good one for spring and summer. It's a nice strong scent, and it's kind of what it says. It's kind of a breezy type flowery scent, but not too flowery. So it's a really nice one. And I'm going to color my tarts today. I'm going to make them green, so I've got blue and yellow dye, and you can buy green dye. I just happen to not have any at the moment, so I'm going to mix those. You don't have to use any dye if you don't want to. You can leave them the white color. So next we need our pour pot, and this is for putting the wax inside and melting it. And we've got our candy thermometer and a rubber spatula to stir with. And then I've got a digital scale. And the digital scales are really nice because then you can measure them a lot more accurately than just a regular kitchen scale. And then I've got a pot here with some water in it, and it's about an inch, probably about an inch of water, so that we can put the pour pot inside of it and melt the wax in there, because you always want to have some water in there. You don't ever want to set the wax directly onto the stove, onto the heat. You need to have water around there so it doesn't burst into flames. Okay, so let's get started making our candles. So first of all, we're going to turn the scale on, and we're going to set the pour pot on it, and we will press the button again to tear it out or zero it out so it goes back to 0. And now we can measure out. I'm just going to do 8 ounces of wax. I'm probably not going to use the whole 8 ounces, but just to make it easier to measure everything else, like the fragrance oil and stuff. So just pour in. Oops, so we hit 8 ounces, and I got a little bit too much, so I'm just going to take some out here and put it back in here. Alright. So that's that. And now I'm going to turn the burner on to 3. We don't want it on too high. And we'll stick the pour pot in there in the pot of water. And now we just need to wait for the wax to melt. We're going to want this Votive wax to get up to about 180 degrees. And so once it's up to 180 degrees, we can add the fragrance oil and the dyes. Okay, and we're back, and our wax is just about ready to go. It's just about at 180 degrees. You want to make sure that your molds are all ready to go, because we're going to add the fragrance, the dye, and then pretty much right after that we're going to pour it into the molds. So let's go ahead and take the pour pot out and we'll set it on the scale again. Zero it out, and I'm going to go ahead and add fragrance oil. I'm going to add 0.8 ounces. So I'm just going to do a 10% fragrance load, which is usually the maximum amount that you can put into 1 pound of wax, and we're doing half a pound, so I'm just going to do 0.8 ounces. So there we go, and I'm going to go ahead and stir it. I usually only do 1 ounce per pound, 1 ounce of fragrance oil per pound of wax when I'm doing my candles with wicks in them. But since this isn't going to have any wicks, then we can add a little bit more and not have to worry about the wick getting clogged or anything like that. So stir it up good, and then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to do just 1 drop of blue and 1 drop of yellow, and that should give us kind of a light green. And stir that up really well. Let's turn the burner off. Okay, and now we're just about ready to pour. Just give it a good stir, make sure everything's mixed up in there good. Alright, so let's go ahead and pour it. Alright, so we're ready to pour in the molds. I'm going to do the metal ones first. With the clamshell molds, you want to probably have it a little bit cooler than 170 degrees when you pour it, because it might be a little bit too hot for the mold. So you might want to wait till like 160 or 150 degrees to pour into the clamshell molds. But for the metal molds, we can go ahead and pour. Up that. Alright, and then I'm going to do the Easter ones next. And this is actually a Jello mold, so that I found at the store, which is kind of neat because you can find all kinds of different molds to use for tarts. I even have some kind of rubber heart-shaped molds, and those are great for Valentine's Day. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pour into the clamshell. Hopefully I have enough left here. Ooh, just enough. Just right. Alright, there we go. Okay, and now we just need to let these cool. Alright, we're back, and our melts are ready and ready to be popped out of the molds. So we'll go ahead and start with the metal ones. You might need to squeeze them a little bit on the sides sometimes, but usually they just pop right out, just like that. So there's the next one. And I've already got a couple of the Easter ones popped out, so I'll show you those, and then we'll pop the rest of them out of there too. Okay, so just kind of push on the bottom. Oop, and that one just came right out. So there we got it. Easter bunny, 2 Easter bunnies, and a little chickie. So there we go, and with the clamshell ones, you can just close the lid. They are going to take a little bit longer to cool, so you want to allow them to cool completely before you try to pop these out. This one's still a little bit warm, but once it's cool, you should be able to pop it out, break off a square, and put it in your melter. So that's it. Alright, well thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to be updated about more videos coming up, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And you can find more candle making instructions at www.soycandlemakingtime.com. You'll find lots more instructions on making candles, soy candles, and information on starting a business and all that kind of stuff. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.